We are Alex Karlson and Iris DeVocca. Today we're diving deep into a new podcast.
Ooh, a new one.
Yeah, it's called Creative Compass, where art meets story.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the premise is exploring how visual art and storytelling work together to build these immersive worlds.
I like that. So
Yeah.
like world building
Exactly.
for any kind of creative project.
Yeah, and I think it'll be perfect for our listeners who love getting lost in a good story, but also appreciate the artistry that makes it come alive.
Yeah, it's like you can have a great story,
Right.
but if the art is terrible,
It just doesn't.
it takes you out.
It takes you out.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you got to have both.
Both. And in this case,
Yeah.
the host is someone who I think has a really interesting background for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jean-Dominique Lavoix-Carli.
Okay.
And he's an art director, an illustrator, and a narrative designer.
Wow. A triple threat.
I know, right? So like all three of those things in one person. Yeah. How do you think that's going to affect the podcast?
Well, I'm imagining him like dissecting a movie scene
Okay.
and pointing out, you know, how the set design and the character expressions and like even the plot twists all work together
To get that.
to create that like
Oh, yeah.
that edge of your seat feel.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be cool if he did like a visual,
I know.
like a video version
That would be amazing.
where he could like point to things.
I know, that would be so
Is he talking about it?
Yeah, like a masterclass in visual storytelling.
Exactly.
Insightful discussions.
Oh, insightful.
Yeah, insightful discussions. And, you know, given his background, I wonder how deep they'll go.
Okay.
Like, will it be more theoretical?
Uh-huh.
Like exploring, you know, like the hero's journey
Okay.
as a visual storytelling framework?
Yeah.
Or will it be more practical?
Okay.
Like tips on how to design a memorable villain just by their silhouette and costume?
I could see it being both.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned they're going to be talking about art direction,
Right.
game design, typography,
Yeah.
like all sorts of different things.
Seems like a wide range.
Yeah, so I think they'll have some theoretical
Yeah.
and some practical stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what I think would be really cool? How a game designer will use like visual cues
Oh, yeah.
to guide a player through a complex level,
That'd be cool.
or like how font choices
Ooh.
in a graphic novel
Yeah.
can actually enhance the narrative voice.
You know, I never thought about that, but that's true.
Right.
Different fonts have different feelings, different vibes to them.
That's true.
I think our listeners would love that.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of like aha moment
Yeah.
that we want to give them.
D'accord.
Right. And speaking of our listener, you know,
Yes.
this podcast, Creative Compass, it's marketed towards both creative professionals
Right.
and story enthusiasts.
So like a broad audience.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that it's so inclusive.
Yeah.
But for someone who wants to learn quickly and thoroughly,
Okay.
how can they get the most out of this podcast, do you think?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what they're looking to get out of it.
Okay.
You know, like if they're a writer
Uh-huh.
who's struggling to like visualize their world,
Okay.
then this podcast could offer some tips on how to like
Translate that.
translate it, into visuals.
Okay.
Or if they're a game designer,
Yeah.
they might get some insights into using environmental storytelling
Okay.
to create like a richer player experience.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're saying like depending on their specific goals,
Yeah.
they can tailor how they listen
Exactly.
to get the most out of it.
Exactly.
I'm hooked. I'm ready to go listen to this right now.
I'm already picturing how all this stuff is going to change the way I experience everything.
I know, me too.
Movies, video games, everything.
It's like a hidden language
All of
that
it.
we're going to learn.
Yeah, and once you know the language, you
Yeah.
can appreciate it so much more.
Exactly.
It's like art appreciation, but for storytelling.
Exactly. And it's not just appreciating it more.
Yeah.
It's also understanding like the deeper meaning
Yes.
behind it all.
Like the meaning behind the meaning.
I love it.
It's so meta.
Okay, well, it was Alex and Iris.
Yes.
Here was our presentation of the podcast, Creative Compass, where art meets story.
Unfolding the work of Jean-Dominique Lavoix-Carli.
Yes. We are so impatient to make you discover his work.
Week after week.
See you soon for our very first episode of the series.
Bye.